Chapter 1 Stohl's Place.
This man, a little crusty he may be, but a good heart is within, my young apprentice.
Rule to Zong, the first time he met Stohl. Zagloff, Second Galaxy. Manda Kidfar followed the coordinates perfectly, and her ship, Survivor, sped over the alien landscape of Zagloff, racing toward the distant city of Zelor. Smooth white pillars rose up from the surface of the world. The towers were all connected by roads and walkways, and through the web, busy air traffic flew. A lilac river wound through the city, coming down from bluish mountains in the north that were capped with star-white snow. The river flowed through Zelor into a blue leaf forest to the south. The sky was purple, seemingly smeared with silvery white clouds. Zagloff was a beautiful world. There was no question there. Manda made her way into the lines of air traffic and headed to the lower parts of the city, landing in a large hangar bay built into the side of a soaring white tower. The hangar was white and blue, and well lit, and it was only big enough for a few more ships, Survivor size. Currently, aside from Manda's ship, it was empty. "Shall I wait with the ship, Master?" Q asked. "If you'd like, Q, and you need to stop calling me Master." Q canted his head to one side. One thing at a time, please, Master." Zong grinned and looked at Manda as she stood from the main helm station. "Shall we, Auntie?" Manda smirked. "Lead the way, Zong." They made for the landing ramp, and soon were stepping away from the Survivor as doors across the hangar bay growled open, and Stohl strode in, laughing and smiling. A small figure trailed quickly behind him, like a ghost. Zong had to smile a little. People said a lot of things about Stohl, and not all of them were flattering. Zong knew him to be a good man, though. He'd taken in the young Kashna girl and adopted her as his own. Khalil had lost everything because of the Krum War. She might have died in the ruins of that city on Zang if Rule and Zong hadn't come along. Now she had a second chance at life, all thanks to Stohl. My friend, Stohl cried as he hurried toward Zong. "Oh," he said, his brow shooting up in surprise when he spotted Manda. "And who is this ravishing beauty you have brought along with you to steal my heart?" Stohl took Manda's hand and stooped his head in a bow. "Stohl Oko, at your service, my lady." "Pleasure to meet you, Stohl," Manda said with a warm smile. "The pleasure is all mine," the Zagloff responded, looking up again. "And to whom is my pleasure directed?" "Manda Kidfar." "Please tell me, did you marry this ugly backside of an Affair?" "She's my aunt," Zong put in, frowning. "Aunt? I did not know you had an aunt, Zong." "Doesn't everyone?" Zong chuckled. Possibly, Stohl said, sticking out his bottom lip. "Ha!" he cried, slapping his leg. Then he turned to look at Khalil, who was hiding behind him. "Well, come out, child. You've been excited since I told you Zong was coming. And now you hide behind me?" Blushing gray, Khalil stepped out from behind Stohl and smiled sweetly at Zong. "Hi, Zong," she said in a high, gentle voice. "It's nice to see you again." She was small, with paper-white skin and yellow cat eyes. Her silvery blue hair was long, hanging past her shoulders. Her fin-like ears stuck out a little from the side of her head. "Has he told you the tale?" Stohl said to Manda. "Has he told you how he and that Zayan warrior Rule braved the devastation of the planet Zang and found my little one among all that destruction?" "No, he hasn't," Manda said, arching an eyebrow and smiling at Zong. The look she gave him made him feel a little self-conscious. "It was just one of the missions we went on," he said with a dismissive shrug. "Ah, look at him, so humble. It's almost too much to take, isn't it?" Stohl said, and then he laughed loudly, throwing his head back. "Come," he cried. "You want papers, and I have them for you." As they followed Stohl out of the hangar bay and into the somewhat dimmer hallways of his complex, Khalil fell back so she was walking beside Zong. "How have you been?" the girl asked in her timid voice. "Pretty good," Zong responded. "How about you? Do you like it here?" "I do," Khalil replied. "Stohl is very good to me, after what happened to my home." She let her words trail off, and she looked at the floor as they walked. "I didn't think I would ever be happy again," she finished after a moment. "But you are?" Zong asked. Khalil looked up again and she smiled sweetly, nodding her head quickly. They arrived at Stohl's office. The broad square room was littered with boxes and a lot of empty shelves. His desk was off-kilter by a rectangular window across from the door that looked out on the city. His chair was on the wrong side of the desk, and there was a messy cot set up to the side of it. Excuse me on my mess, Stohl said, waving his hands about the room. I am in the process of moving in. He walked to his desk and brought up his computer. I offered to help, but he won't let me, Khalil said softly. Stohl, you bought this place 5 years ago, Zong chuckled. Yes, and what? The alien asked, looking up, his brow furrowed. Is 5 years too long for unpacking? A little, Zong smiled. Ah, you Kashna and your strange ways. Stohl laughed and stepped away from his computer with a crystal storage disk that wasn't much bigger than Zong's thumbnail. He handed it off to Manda. Here you are, my fine lady. These should get you past the checkpoint at Rozekdula, but... Stohl became uncommonly serious. I must warn you. The Denav have become more cautious, shall we say. They've tightened their border security? Zong asked, worry rising in his chest. And can you blame them? Stohl asked, looking to the Kashna man. The Krum are trying harder than ever to capture Denav space. If they hold that, along with their allies in Apozoria and the Doklori and the areas they hold in the Outlands, they will have the Kashna hemmed in. The only escape will be into the eastern unknown regions, and that is a dangerous prospect at the best of times. Wild tribes of Rook, pirates, or worst of all, the thrice-damned Lich. The idea of it made Zong's skin crawl. This could be a lot harder than we first thought, Auntie, Zong said, wincing at Manda. It could be worse than all that, too, Stohl admitted with a sigh. I've not been to Denav space for months now, and I don't think you can blame me on that count. However, contacts I have within that area, which are backed up by reports from the old Duggan realm, suggest a tentative treaty has been struck, and the Denav are now, at least loosely, working with the Krum Empire. What does loosely mean? Manda asked. The checkpoint is looking for known or possible enemies of the Krum and ushering them across the border before taking them prisoner and handing them over to the Krum. Stohl's eyes moved to Zong. You worked with the top Zan, Zong. They know you. You must be careful. Zong's skin chilled. He nodded and said, Yeah, Stohl, I will. Please come back safely, Khalil said softly, and Zong looked to her, beaming. We'll stop by on the way back through, yeah? Zong said. Khalil smiled warmly, but Zong saw worry in her cat-like eyes, and her fin-like ears were drooping a little. Zong kept smiling to try and show her the level of confidence he didn't feel. He looked at Manda, hoping she might be more hopeful than he was. She just looked concerned, her brow furrowed, thinking. Well, Zong thought grimly, this is not good. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and there are more episodes on the way.